Hi, I'm Jake from Farr Guitar Studio, and today we're going to be learning how to make a one-string composition. So, in order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to learn one of the most popular scales we use as guitar players, the Pentatonic Scale, and I'm going to give you a few rules to make it easier for you, and then by the end of this, you should feel pretty confident writing your own one-string song and also improvising with the scale. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the E minor pentatonic scale that's at the top of your page. You can find attached to the video. So we're going to start out with fret 0 on the first string. Next, we're going to play 3, still on the first string. Then we move up to 5, 7, 10, and 12. So, with the pentatonic scale, there's only 5 notes in the pentatonic scale. That's why it's called penta 5 tonic tone, 5-tone scale. However, you may have realized we just played 6 notes. The reason that is because this first string is E, and when we get up to fret number 12, we're also playing another E. It's just an octave higher. So, although there are 6 notes in the scale we just played, there's only 5 different notes. So that's why we call it the pentatonic scale. Now I want to do it one more time, giving 4 beats to each note. But I want to double check our left hand technique and our right hand technique before we get started to make sure you're still remembering to do all of that good stuff. So with our right hand, the most important thing is you're only holding the pick with your thumb and your first finger. Sometimes your second finger wants to sneak on there. We just need to keep it right here. Okay, and with your left hand, you want to make sure your thumb is down, right across from your first finger. We don't want to see it up here. And also your first finger needs to be at the very front of the fret and pressing down just like this, right on the tip of your finger. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it hovering right above 3 as I start the scale. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 0, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's our E minor pentatonic scale. This is going to be a really popular scale in blues and rock and folk music, even in country music, and you're just going to find it in a little bit of every style. Okay, so here's the rules that you need to follow at first, although, as we always do in music, you're going to eventually end up breaking the rules and doing whatever sounds the best. But we're going to start on 0, and we're going to play each note at least 4 times. And the final rule is that we're not going to do any big skips. So for instance, as you're making your composition, you wouldn't play 0, 3, 12. Once you get to 3, you could go up to 5, you could even go up to 7. We just don't want you going really far back and forth all over the neck, because the melody just doesn't quite sound as good. So right now we're just going to pretty much keep the notes in order. Small skips are okay. All right, so here's the example we're going to do today. I'm going to play 0, 3, 5, 7 for the first part of my song. I picked all notes in the pentatonic scale, and I'm going to play each one 4 times. 1, 2, ready, go. 0, 3, 5, 7. Okay, for the second part of this song, I'm going to go backwards. 7, 5, 3, 0. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's do it together, and we're going to go through the whole thing. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. So for this exercise, we pretty much just went up the scale a little bit and came back down. When you're making your own melody, you can really go use any note in the scale you want to. You don't have to go in order, just like I did. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to play that same thing, but I'm going to play some chords behind you. I'm going to play an E minor chord, a G, an A minor, and an E. And you'll see how easy it is to get some really cool sounding music by just playing notes in the scale. So at the exact same speed, 1, 2, ready, go. Excellent. If you feel the need to practice that again, you can always rewind the video and practice it as many times as you need to. Okay, so now I'm going to make up an example. We're not going to play this one together, but just so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's say for my next song, I was going to skip around in the scale and I was going to play 0, 3, 7, 5, and then 10, 7, 5, 3, 0. So that melody was a lot more interesting. It'll work over the exact same chords. Okay, so for this next part, you just get to use the scale. You can use any of the frets we've talked about. At first, try playing them 4 times each. If you want to change that rule later, you're more than welcome to. But just play notes in the scale 4 times each, and I'm going to play through that chord progression 8 times to give you some time just to experiment, to mess around, find something that sounds cool. And once again, feel free to rewind this to play it over and over again until you can make your one-string composition that you feel good about. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Great. Well, hopefully you were finding some stuff that sounded pretty good, and if you didn't, just try it a few more times. Sometimes it takes a little while. Okay, thanks for watching today. I hope you get a good one-string composition this week. Feel free to contact me with any questions.